What's up, y'all? Y'all know it's Cold Custard Barber, Mr. Convos, Mike Craft, whatever you want to call me. Look, I told you we got another Convos Part 4 called Their Stories with 3 special women by the name of Miss Shedra Clay, South 7, and Angela Moon Johnson. This one is a great one, just like the last 3. Ladies, get your tissue. You're gonna love it. Peace. Well, introducing to you all, we have to the right Miss South 7. In the middle we have Miss Shedra Clay. And on my left side we have Miss Moon Johnson. The question I want to ask you all, ladies, because I know you all stories. Well, partially. But I want you all to share it with the public because you may be able to help someone. So I want to ask you all this question. How do you all deal with past injustices in your adulthood today? So can we start off with you, please?
Sure. I thought that I was raised to deal with injustices by praying, not talking about them, trying to forget about them. And as I got older, I realized that that wasn't enough. So I didn't realize until I had an incident at work and I was angry, upset, frustrated, didn't know why, didn't know left, right.
How long ago was it?
I would say probably about 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. I was angry, I was frustrated, I was into it with a coworker, and I felt as though I wanted to do her harm. Well, I'm gonna say I felt as I wanted to do her harm. So our job offered mediation. Well, not mediation. They offered counseling. So I felt like maybe I need to go get counseling. I was trying to do it to be funny so I could have some time off at work.
Was you feeling like you want to do that lady harm on a regular basis?
Oh no, I wanted to harm her right then. It wasn't no regular. Let me think about it, and tomorrow maybe I want to harm her. No, I wanted to harm her right then and there. And so I was like, I'm gonna go to counseling. And like I said, I was trying to do it to be funny, and I was like, okay, so y'all gonna miss me. So I signed up for counseling every Tuesday. I was like, give me some time to have me some, that's the days I was having to go to school also. And so, but needless to say that when I got in counseling, when I got to the counselor, I really found out that I had a lot of things bottled up on the inside that I hadn't released that was causing me to feel the way that I was feeling.
So you needed someone to take it out on?
Well, I ain't gonna say I needed somebody to take it out on. I needed to find out the root of the problem. What was causing me to be angry? What was causing me to be frustrated? What was causing me to be confused, doubtful, inconsistent in every area of my life? So when I started going to counseling, I found out it was from a past trauma.
So, do you mind telling us what the trauma was?
I was molested at the age of 12 by my sister's boyfriend. And when I wanted to tell my family, but I didn't think that they would believe me. So I held it in. I felt like I was doing the precautions that I needed to take to cover myself after the incident, because I was one of those little girls that like dresses and skirts. And I felt like because I liked dresses and skirts, that was the reason why he targeted me. So I stopped wearing dresses and skirts.
And made it your fault. In your own head, you made it your fault.
I did because I didn't know. I really didn't know. I didn't know what I had done because I wasn't one of those little girls that showing my tail. I wasn't fast. I didn't go outside playing with boys or anything like that. I just liked wearing skirts, and I just thought it was because I like wearing skirts that, you know, he tried what he tried. So I tried to cover myself, keep myself covered, so he wouldn't try it anymore. But it really didn't help. It really didn't help.
So at what point, I was molested too, by, and let me just say this, because I know my mom will look at this, and I've had conversations with my mom, my dad, and my entire family. It's nothing against my mother, my father, it's not even against my molester, but this is my story. And I have a right to tell that story.
Right.
And I pray that it does not hurt, because I think we've already healed. But yeah, I was molested by my mother's boyfriend. The youngest I can remember, I was probably maybe 8, all the way up until 15, and it probably would have continued. But I decided to tell my mom because I got tired of being whooped for skipping school because I was promiscuous, because somebody had messed with me.
Right.
And so I was very promiscuous. I would skip school. I came home and I had a toothbrush in my pocket, and she wanted to know why. And I was making bad grades, and I was changing them, and I forgot to change one on the final. And we got into it, and I told her, your boyfriend molested me. She called the entire family. She got a gun. She got in the car, and she was going to kill him. And 5 minutes later, she came back, and she told me I was lying. And all of my aunties and uncles were there, you know, and it was such a relief to tell it. But then it switched on me. And it was like nobody ever believed me.
Right.
And I had to deal with that. Yeah, of course I had to leave my mom's house, but my little sister was there. So for years that thing bothered me, y'all. It really, really did.
Because it's like you wanted to protect her, right?
It wasn't even that. It was the fact, as a teenager, you're not thinking on that level.
Right.
All you thinking is, I can't believe they ain't believe me. But when you get to an adult, and I moved to my house in 2006, and my house has a nice backyard. And I don't know what it was, y'all, but I would sit in my den and I would look out into my backyard, and all I wanted to do was kill myself. I don't know what it was about that backyard, but it was like, I have no clue, and I still don't know to this day what that backyard did to me. But what it did was it made me strong enough to tell my story to my parents. I wanted them to tell me why.
Right.
Why? I wanted my daddy to tell me why. And now I'm an adult, I want you to tell me why you left my sister there. Did y'all not believe me? I wanted to know why. As an adult, I think I deserve that.
But you know, it's you do want to know why, because my folks didn't believe me. They told me that I was theatrical, because I've always wanted to be an actor. So I could cry at the drop of a hat. I could
Right.
sing.
You're a great actor as well. You are a great actor.
Thank
You are a
you.
great actress. I mean.
Right.
But they took that as me showing out, wanting attention. And I'm like, I've never been, the type that want attention. I've never shown myself to be this. So, I get it when you say that you wanted to know why.
Yeah.
I didn't find out why until I was grown.
Right.
And we were in a car. I was in the car with my mom. And like you said, your family, my family's gonna see this. Some people know what happened to me. Some people don't. But at the same time, like you said, we have to tell our stories for those that are coming behind us,
Right.
that don't know what to do, that are confused about the situation. Because I really had to paint a picture for my mom, for her to see that I wasn't telling the story. So it was like, do you remember when I was crying to say, Mama, can I stay at home this weekend? I don't want to go over there this weekend. I promise I stay in my room. And she was like, I need my me time. I get that as a mama now, that you need your me time. I get that now. And I don't knock her for that, because I get it now. So when I was just crying, I was like, Mama, I don't want to go over there. And she was just like, why? And I was like, I just don't want to go over there. I promise I'll be good. I just want to stay at home. And she was like, no, just give Mommy one day. I get over there, and I felt like if I stayed in the living room, because he would try in the room. If I stayed in the living room with everybody else and fall asleep in the living room at my sister's house, that he wouldn't bother me. So that worked for like 2 weekends. I was like, good. The third weekend, my sister's like, you go back there with the kids? I cried all the way to the room. And all I could hear people saying, hey girl, crazy. Your sister crazy. She just crying. She's so dramatic. Just not knowing. So when I got in the room, I would wrap myself in a sheet. And to this day, I can't sleep on sheets. I don't have sheets on my bed. I have comforters, but I don't have sheets on my bed. I can't sleep in sheets. So I would wrap myself in a sheet. And when he would come in there, I know I would be screaming to the top of my lungs, and nobody heard me. Nobody woke up. Nobody came in. At least I thought I was screaming. At least I thought I was calling my sister's name. In my mind, that's what I was doing. But nobody ever woke up. Nobody ever woke up. So I get it, wanting to know, like, why y'all didn't believe me. And when my mom finally talked to me about it, she was just crying, and she was saying that she was sorry. But like I told her, and this is before I went to counseling, it's done now. The only thing that I want to do is, try to move on from it and try to heal from it. I thank God that I didn't become promiscuous. I tried to just cover myself from that moment on. I tried to heal myself and cover myself. So I wouldn't wear skirts anymore. I wouldn't, I wore long pants and jackets and sweaters all the time, because it was just like this. I have to cover myself, to keep from being seen.
I got a question. This been on my mind for a while. When you growing up, why do we as a community have that what happens in my house stays in my house type of mentality? Are we embarrassed? Even if our children are suffering, would it be an embarrassment to the public for your daughter or son to say, I'm being molested? Or it makes the parent look weak?
I think for my mom, as an adult woman, I understood, because she did believe me. And she told me, she said, I did believe you. She said, but I thought that was the only man that was going to love me. Because my father had cheated on her and left her with myself and my sister. And so, as a woman, I understood that she just didn't want to be by herself. As a child, would I have understood that? No. But as an adult woman, I understood that. And I couldn't be mad at her, because I understood that. And as crazy as it may sound to some people, it's not me giving her an excuse, it's the truth. She didn't want to be by herself, even though she believed me. And I couldn't do nothing but respect her as a woman for that and move on. I also had to move on from thinking, I never thought it was my fault. And I thank God for that at a young age. This ain't my fault. But what I did know was, I had seen my dad hurt my mom. I had seen how hurt she was when my dad left. I had seen that. So for me to take him, the molester, away from her, I'd rather sacrifice myself than to ever see my mom the way I saw my mom after my dad left. Broken. But when I got older, it was breaking me. Because all I wanted to know, I just wanted to know if they believed me or not. You know, because I never had a real indication whether they believed me or not. Because they left my sister there. So I'm thinking, y'all couldn't believe me. And my dad was like, he never knew it was more than one time. He thought it was just that one time that I talked about it. It had been going on for years. And so I think he still struggles with that now. But as adults, you just never know what you'll do when those situations come. I don't think it's not her thinking she was gonna be weak or anything like that. I think that just as a woman, she was damaged. She was hurt. And she just didn't want to be by herself.
I'm gonna say that sometimes, like she said, it could be just the fact of being by yourself. And another twist could be not just embarrassment or anything like that. Sometimes we don't know how to take responsibility for things that happens in our lives. And I think that's why I said it was my fault, because I was always taught cause and effect. Because you do something, there is an effect to it. It might be negative, it might be positive. And I'm not speaking bad about my mom, because that's how I was raised. You take responsibility for what you have done. If you've done something bad, expect consequences. So in my mind, I was thinking, because I liked dresses and skirts and all I saw was on the TV, we would never talked about it as a family. All I saw on the TV, girls being molested, they had on skirts. They had on little bitty skirts. They were promiscuous. They was out here just, showing themselves and revealing themselves. So men, right. So, and for me, I was just like, but I don't do all of that. I go to school, I get A's and B's, and I don't.
What made me different?
Yeah, so what did I do? And then I thought about it. I was like, you've been wearing skirts.
The TV told me not to wear
Yeah, don't wear no skirts. So you know what I'm saying? It was just like, for me, I had to tie it to something in order for me to comprehend for myself what was going on and what was, happening to me. So I would say that for a person that blamed themselves, that's what I did. That's, speaking about me.
How can you smile so big today? Why is your smile so big today?
Because yet and still today, I am conquering more of my life back. Even though that was 20 some years ago.
You know?
No, I'm not real old, but I mean, I think that I'm seasoned very well, and but I smile because I'm still gaining my life back. I'm learning that it doesn't have to affect my everyday life, because I noticed that it affected my relationships, it affected my friendships, it affected my trust. It affected the way I raised my children. It affected a lot of things in my life. Like I was telling them, my daughter couldn't wear dresses for a long time. She could only wear a dress to church. You ain't wearing no dress nowhere. When you go to school, they had to wear skirts. Baby, what type of pants can she wear?
That was from your trauma.
Right, because you ain't wearing no skirts, baby. You ain't getting no dresses. You going. Only reason you wearing them to church is because I'm there at church with you. I see you. But other than that, wherever you go, you got on pants. And I had to, it wasn't until I met my son's father to where he was like, you can't put her in your trunk. You can't do that. You cannot cause her to miss things in life because of what happened to you. You are protecting her the way you should. You are covering her like you should. but she still has a life. So give her that choice.